In today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at the tropics as well as the upcoming pattern where we do have plenty of storminess. We have a big cooldown and then a big warm up. It's going to be up and down on all cylinders basically here of our upcoming pattern. Before we get into things, be sure to check out Prestige Weather in the description and pin comment down below where we do early access to our seasonal forecast. I'm about to make a hurricane season forecast update over there, so you will find that in there quite a while before it ends up on the YouTube channel. So if you want early access to that, be sure to check it out. We do have another fall forecast and winter forecast also coming up fairly soon, so be sure to check it out, as well as some consulting, and we have some other things coming up that I can't really talk about, but it does involve AI. I'll give you guys that hint. So AI powered things for weather. It's really groundbreaking, very exciting stuff, so be sure to check it out. As we take a look at the tropics, you can see that we do have Tropical Storm Dawn still here, now at 50 miles per hour. So we've seen some intensification here from Tropical Storm Dawn. Also, this disturbance down here, 20% chance of cyclone formation in 7 days. So still relatively low. We could see an increase here, but again, like I mentioned yesterday, we do see this is heading into this kind of southern Caribbean corridor. And that's not a very promising area for systems like this to be moving into to develop. It's a little bit more like a desert down there, very dry, not favorable for tropical development. There still is the chance that this heads a little bit further north than that area, and if it heads towards this pocket in here, there is that chance that it does actually develop quite a bit. Now, as we take a look here at the cone forecast for Tropical Storm Dawn, we can see this one is going to stay at tropical storm status, actual tropical storm, not subtropical storm, all the way until about 6 a.m. on Sunday. Then at that point, it's going to go towards post-tropical storm status there before it curls back towards the east and eventually becomes a post-tropical depression there by 6 a.m. on Tuesday. But there is always the chance it rolls back around for another spin. I think that would be the most interesting solution, but we'll have to end up seeing what happens with this one. As we take a look here at the upcoming pattern, we can see that already by this afternoon, we do see some thunderstorms around for multiple different areas. One thing for sure here is the Rockies are dealing with these, especially just to the east of those Rockies. We are seeing some thunderstorms. We can see that there is this pocket here in the Great Lakes, and also for a little bit further south in that Ohio Valley, kind of Mississippi River area of Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, and Illinois there. And this is going to be a pocket that we're watching for potential thunderstorms. By tomorrow, we see this split up into two different areas here. As you can see, for the deeper south, we see some thunderstorm activity taking place. So this is from New Mexico all the way through most of the deeper south and southeast. And then up here for the northeast as well, we see a 1,003 millibar low pressure center taking place near Lake Erie there. And that is going to be taking place. I don't think that's Lake Erie. That's the one to the north of Lake Erie. My bad. It's a different lake, but near kind of the Adirondack Mountains there in very far northern New York there, we are seeing these thunderstorms taking place. By the time we're reaching Saturday afternoon, you can see that we do see some thunderstorm activity here still through the southeast, deeper south area. And then for the upper Midwest, we do see some scattered about thunderstorms. And still we see this low pressure system here in the northeast and the southeast of Canada as well, bringing some thunderstorm activity down there as well. So definitely some pretty impactful systems moving around the nation, of course. Sunday here on the 23rd, we still see this southeast, deep south area seeing these thunderstorms. And I mean, this time of year for this area, it is pretty typical. We do see this almost daily, so definitely not that shocking. We can see that also the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley are seeing some of this activity. And then there for the northeast, we're seeing a little bit as well. So definitely multiple areas there. I'm showing the emojis again. I think that's going to be pretty much a daily occurrence here for some reason. By the time we reach Monday, the 24th here, we can see that actually we're going to see the East Coast begin to develop some thunderstorm activity here all the way from Florida up through New York into New England. We're seeing these thunderstorms popping up. Texas, Louisiana as well. We see some of this activity here. So definitely we have multiple areas dealing with these thunderstorms and various types of activity. Tuesday the 25th here, we could see that the eastern and Gulf seaboards here are again dealing with thunderstorm activity. So for early next week. And then by Wednesday, we see a very quiet pattern setting up. As you can see, I mean, there's a little tiny bit of activity here in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. And then a little bit down here for Louisiana, but really outside of that, there is nothing happening. So very quiet here in the long range. Here we go again. As we take a look here at Thursday, the 27th, it's another very quiet day there. And then Friday here on the 28th, we can see some of this happening for the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. We can see that there is some isolated thunderstorms here in the southeast, the northeast as well. But again, another overall pretty quiet day. And then as we reach into Saturday evening, we can see that activity picks up big time as there's a 1,001 millibar low pressure center down there for southeastern Canada with a frontal boundary kind of extending down through the northeast Ohio Valley back into the plains. And then for the southeast, we do see a little bit of some rising moisture here, probably with a warm front setup, something like that. This is kind of causing some warmer air to surge up the east coast around this frame. So that is the overall setup here. Maybe some activity picking back up for next weekend after we hit a little bit of a quiet lull there. As we take a look at this total precipitation here, we can see overall a lot drier here in the west, and then a lot more moisture here in the east. So we can see for areas in the Great Lakes and upper Midwest, we can see areas in the northeast, areas in the southeast are dealing with some near normal to above normal precipitation. This is honestly kind of scaled back a little bit here than from what we've seen in the past weeks. There is still plenty of activity expected, and everywhere in the reds in general is going to see above average amounts. So there is areas dealing with those types of levels of precipitation. It's just not as widespread this time around. So that is the important thing to note here. Anywhere in the yellows is going to be about 1 inch to 2 inches. Reds, therefore, are going to be about 2 to 5 inches there, and that would be above average for a 10-day period. Let's just move straight into the temperature pattern here. We can see that we do deal with some cooler temperatures in the east here, all the way from tomorrow on Saturday, or better yet, 2 days from now on Saturday the 22nd through Sunday. But this is when this warm up really moves eastward, and really I want to kind of hammer home that we do see a negative PNA setup, and this so quickly shifts us into a warmer pattern here in the east and central United States. The PNA is such a huge factor in our pattern, and overall it has been the biggest driving factor for a long time now. And we can see that that warm up kind of sticks around. We do see the west start to warm up a little bit, and by the end of it, this model run that is, we can see some cooler air for the northeast as well as portions of the west there, with overall the most warmth for the plains and the southeast as well, with this kind of outlier below normal temperatures sitting over the northeast and kind of the central west. So that is the overall look. It is a very interesting pattern. It is a very transitioning pattern, and it isn't really sitting in one position. It's really moving around and getting us into some different patterns for sure. So it is going to be a roller coaster. I'm looking forward to tracking it with you guys. Be sure to subscribe for daily uploads. We do upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.